The morning sun cast a golden glow through the large windows of McDonald's as Emma pushed open the glass doors, her work bag slung over her shoulder. She was running late for her shift, but something small and fluffy near the outdoor seating area caught her eye. Curled up beneath one of the red plastic chairs was the tiniest kitten she had ever seen. Its fur was a patchwork of orange, white, and black, a perfect little calico no bigger than her palm. The kitten's eyes were barely open and it mewed softly, clearly lost and hungry. The kitten immediately nestled into her warm hands, its tiny purr vibrating like a miniature motor. Inside the restaurant, her manager Dave was already flipping burgers for the breakfast rush. "Emma, you're late." He stopped mid-sentence when he saw what she was cradling. "Is that a kitten?" "I found her outside." "She's so tiny, Dave. I think she's been abandoned." Emma's eyes pleaded with him.
Can I keep her here while I figure out what to do?
"Just until my break?" Dave's stern expression melted as the kitten opened one sleepy eye and mewed again. Despite his tough exterior, he had always been a softie for animals. "Fine, but keep her in the office. And if corporate finds out..." Emma quickly fashioned a small bed from her spare apron in Dave's office. But the kitten had other plans. As soon as Emma returned to her station, the adventurous little furball managed to squeeze under the office door and began exploring her new kingdom. The breakfast crowd was in full swing when customers started pointing and laughing. There, weaving between the legs of chairs and tables, was the tiniest kitten anyone had ever seen, her tail held high like a flag of pure joy. She seemed completely unbothered by the bustling restaurant, treating it like her personal playground. "Look, Mommy, a baby kitty!" squealed a little girl, dropping to her knees to get a closer look. Rather than causing chaos, the kitten became an instant hit. Customers pulled out their phones, taking pictures and videos of the adorable intruder. An elderly man sitting alone smiled for the first time in months as the kitten rubbed against his leg. A stressed mother forgot her crying toddler's tantrum when the kitten curiously approached their table. The kitten, seemingly understanding her role as unofficial greeter, made her rounds to every table. She sat politely by the counter while a teenager ordered, tilting her head as if genuinely interested in his choice of burger. She even managed to charm Mrs. Henderson, the notoriously grumpy regular who complained about everything from the temperature of her coffee to the cleanliness of the tables. "Well, I never," Mrs. Henderson muttered, but she was secretly delighted when the kitten chose her lap for a brief nap. By lunchtime, the little kitten had become a social media sensation. McDonald's kitten was trending locally, with dozens of photos and videos flooding Instagram and TikTok. The restaurant was busier than it had been in months, with people specifically coming to meet the famous feline. Emma watched nervously as regional manager Ms. Torres walked through the door for her surprise inspection. The kitten, as if sensing the importance of the moment, trotted right up to the stern-looking woman and sat perfectly at her feet, looking up with enormous, innocent eyes. Ms. Torres tried to maintain her professional composure, but when the kitten gently placed a tiny paw on her shoe, she cracked. "Whose kitten is this?" she asked, trying to sound official. "She's kind of everyone's now," Dave admitted sheepishly. "The customers love her, and she's brought in more business today than we've seen all month." As if to prove his point, a family of 5 walked in asking, "Are we at the right McDonald's?" "We saw the kitten videos online." Ms. Torres looked around at the happy faces, the phones recording, and the genuine joy the tiny animal had brought to what was usually just another fast food restaurant. "Well," she said slowly, "I suppose we could look into making this official. Maybe create a little mascot program." The kitten, now officially named Mac by popular vote from the customers, became the restaurant's beloved mascot. A special little bed was installed behind the counter, complete with her own tiny McDonald's uniform, a miniature red collar with a small golden arch charm. Mac seemed to understand her important role. She greeted customers with purrs, posed for photos, and somehow always knew when someone needed a gentle, furry friend. She transformed the ordinary McDonald's into a place where people came not just for food, but for the warmth and joy that only a tiny kitten could provide. As Emma watched Mac curl up in her special bed that evening, she smiled. Sometimes the smallest creatures make the biggest difference, turning an ordinary day into something magical.